This is a live stream, and I'm gonna be telling you what codes to look for in all these unbelievable stories, right? And but of course, when the media says whatever the media says is absolute facts, right? Here on this channel, we believe them, right? Okay, right. Anyway, so let me just tell you something. So what are the codes to look for in all these stories you see on television? All right, this is what you look for. Okay, either in the victim's name or the suspect's name or the places where it happens. You look for the name man or son in their names, okay? And if you don't find that, then you'll find the same initials in the names of the suspects or the victims and or the place, and and also you're looking for sexual innuendos in the stories, okay? And I'll give you a quick example. Like, with President Nixon, he was known as Tricky Dicky because it's Dick Nixon. Richard is Dick, right, in the name. So Dick Nixon, they were calling him Tricky Dicky, and there was the Watergate scandal. The Watergate scandal involved a person named Deep Throat, okay? And in that story, there was these two people involved also had the son in their name. I can't remember Hall the Man and Ehrlich Man, Lick the Man, whatever. So you had the Deep Throat with Dick Nixon, Dick and Deep Throat, right? Then with George Bush, who was the 9/11 president, George Bush Jr., his running mate was Dick Cheney. So you had the Bush and the Dick. And then with Bill Clinton, you had uh, you know what happened with Bill Clinton, right? With that Monica Lewinsky scandal. And Bill Clinton was known as Slick Willie. Slick sounds like lick. And what happened? He had his willie licked because the willie is the wiener reference. Slick Willie, lick the willie. And that's what happened with that Monica Lewinsky. She licked his willie, So do you get it? All right. And then who was the first Bush? The father of George Bush Jr. He ran against a guy named Do Cock Kiss. So you had the cock and the kiss, and the do the cock, do the kiss, do cock, kiss cock, whatever the hell cock. But my point is, uh, you had the Bush running against Do Cock Kiss when he was running, and then the other Bush, the son, his running mate was Dick Cheney. Okay, now I'm just showing you how they mock. And also, they use the name Christ, Christian, Christopher, Jesus, because they always mock God, okay, in their stories, okay? So, now, like I said, you look for the man and the son, because who was the man and the son? Jesus was also known as the Son of Man, okay? And there's other codes, all right? This I'm just giving you a quick, summary of the codes to look for in these incredible stories that you see on television, right? So there was one story just recently about the CEO that was killed, right? And in New York. And Trump is from New York, right? Originally. And he um so this the CEO killer, he was caught at a McDonald's. So there's a Donald connection with that. Now, also, the CEO was coming out of the Hilton Hotel, and that Hilton Hotel was where Trump made his victory speech back in 2016. He made his victory speech at that hotel. And Trump's going to be the 47th president, right? Because he was elected to win the 47th presidency, but we'll see what happens. But he so let's just say he's going to be the 47th president. If you know my channel, I'm telling you that Elvis has been dead for 47 years, and Trump is the image of Elvis. Because Elvis is the Antichrist. Trump is the Antichrist in the flesh because he's the image of Elvis, who is the beast out of the sea. And if you know my videos, I have two predictions: June 11th, a spectacular event in Washington State, and Trump gets his head won on August 4th. Okay, so two predictions: 6/11 and August 4th. Now, So the suspect and the CEO killer gets caught at McDonald's. You have the Donald. Happened in New York. New York. Trump is from New York. So it was the building. Trump did his victory speech in 2016 from that Hilton Hotel where it happened, where the CEO was coming out of, and it's 47 floors. Trump is the 47, right? He was caught at McDonald's, the CEO killer, and 47 floor building. Trump's the 47th. Elvis has been dead for 47 years. Okay, and what else is 47 in this story? The company started in 1977, the same year Elvis died, and it's been 47 years since Elvis died. So you have that connection. The company where that CEO worked was established in 1977, and the McDonald's where he got caught, the address was 407. Okay, and you think it's, so you see all the 47s, right? And it was 47, or if you don't add the day, but from that day to the day that Trump's going to get inaugurated was 47 or 48 days. So you have another 47 connection from the day he was caught to the day he was the inauguration, I think. But I'm not 100% on that one, but you got to check it. But look at this connection, because the address was 407 right at that McDonald's where the guy got caught. Look at the prime numbers for the date that Trump was born, 6/14/1946. These are the prime numbers for those numbers. And look, it's 85 plus 322. Look at that. The skull and bones number, which I've shown many times. And look, it equals 407. Is that correct? 78 and 7. Yeah, 407. Yeah, so the address was 407. Another connection to Trump, you see? Okay. Now, so again, why am I bringing this up? Okay, because now I'm going to show you the codes in the story. That was not the codes. Okay, now we're going to go to the man-son code. All right, these are the codes that I discovered back in the 90s during the O.J. Simpson trial, because O.J. Simpson's son killed Ron Goldman, so the son kills the man, and in that story, the detective who found the bloody glove, his name was Mark Furman. So you have another man in the story, and then who was the prosecuting attorney? One of them, his name was Christopher Christ. Get it? And what did he do? He was horrible. I mean, he was made to look like a complete buffoon. And who was the opposing attorney for Simpson? It was Johnny Cochran. You see how they use the sexual innuendos? The cock ran against the Christian. Christopher Darden, right? Anyway, and then of course you had the Son of Man, because Jesus was known as the Son of Man in the Bible. And you had Simpson killing Goldman, okay? Anyway, and Trump is kind of like the Goldman connection, get it? His hair. Anyway, so in this story, and of course you have Charles Mann's son, because that's how I figured it all out during the O.J. Simpson trial back in the 90s, these codes, because I thought of Charles Mann's son, and the and originally my codes were King Man's son, and because Jesus is also known as the King, and the reason I thought the King is because Martin Luther King was, and then Rodney King, that guy who got beat by the police officers. These were big stories. Anyway, so I took the King out, and I told everybody when I took the codes out of when I took the King out, I told everybody that one day you're going to see this King be used in a monstrous story, because they weren't using the King when I first made this codes, the King Man's Son code, and they didn't use the King, but I said they would use it in a big story one day. I said, huge, you're going to see, it's going to be a monster story. And this is it on June 11th. It's in King County. I mean, you got the King County connection because Seattle's in King County. This Washington State June 11th event, which connects to Elvis being the beast out of the sea. Elvis was known as the King, and Martin Luther King is named after that King County where Seattle is, in King County in Washington State. Martin Luther King is now named after that King County, and Martin Luther King was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, where Elvis lived and died. Okay? It's all connected. And the year Elvis died, you had Seattle Slew, who won the Triple Crown on June 11th. I'm telling you, June 11th is when Seattle gets slewed, okay? But really, it's all of Washington State, like all of the west side of Washington State. They're going to crack it, folks. Get out of Washington State before June 11th. And so, so, um, so I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, I was saying that one day they're gonna use the king in a monstrous story. So I pulled the king out of the codes, and I told them they're gonna use it just for one big story, and that's the story, the June 11th event. And then, so now back to the man son code. Now watch this story with the CEO and see how many times you see the man and the son and the other codes, a few other codes, if you know what I'm saying here. You'll see. So let's look at it. Remember, we're looking for the man and the son. So here's the first one, which is not that big of a deal, this first code. So when this guy, the killer of the CEO, he was using a fake driver's license. The address, the street name was Sherman. Okay, first you have the man in his fake address on his driver's license. Okay, you had the man. Now, what was the victim's name? So this guy was killed. Okay, this is the guy who was killed. His name is Brian Thompson. It's got the son in the name, man. Okay, it's the man and the son, right? And where was this Thompson killed? In Manhattan. You know what happened in Manhattan on 9/11? So I told you it's the man son code, right? So his name is Brian Thompson. He was killed in Manhattan, right? And who was the killer? The killer's name is Luigi Mangione. He's got the man in his name. You see? You see what I'm talking about? So the guy who was killed was Thompson. He was in Manhattan and by a killer named Mangione. Okay? Okay, that's my point. And where did this killer live? Where was his place? His name is he was lived in Towson. It's got the first of all, it's the TWO. Okay, and Elvis, when he was born, there was two of them because Elvis had an identical twin. It's TWO. Get it? Two son, and that's where Gabby Giffords got shot on Elvis's birthday, right in the head. On Elvis's birthday, Gabby Giffords, the congresswoman, was shot on January 8th, Elvis's birthday, and that's what Trump was saying with the fight, 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 because he was using the words she used in her speeches after she got her head wound, right? FFF 666, and Trump was saying fight, fight, fight after he got shot, and he got shot at the time 6/11. Remember? Anyway, let's move on. But anyway, it's Tao's son, right? So now look what you're saying. So Brian Tom's son was the victim, the son. Victim died in Manhattan. The killer was Mangione. Mangione lived in Tao's son. Okay. He was a valedictorian. And the school name was Gilman. Again with the man. Okay. So the valedictorian and Gilman, see? Yeah, that's right. And remember, everything to do with the man and the son connects to Jesus, and it was in Maryland. Mary, get it? Mary, birthed Jesus, right? And look, and you had the Gilman, valedictorian. Suspect was Luigi, had a manifesto. And, on his bullets, he wrote the words deny, depose, and something else. I don't know what the hell he wrote, but who cares? But they said that it was based on a book written about insurance companies called Delay, Deny, Defend. And who wrote that book? Look who wrote it. Fine Man. Again with the man. And this is what the media was saying. It was why the killer wrote that, on why he wrote that on the bullets, these three words. But he didn't write these three, but something like that. And they were comparing it to this, right? And where was this guy's family from, the killer? Look at that. Cockeysville. The family of this dude was from Cockyville. Again, you see how I told you they use thing uh, weird, innuendos, right? And and what's his lawyer's name? The suspect's lawyer's name is Thomas Dickey. It's got the dick in it, man. And Thomas means twin, twin Dickies. So it's the cockatoo, because one is never enough. They need the cockatoo. You understand? They need that cockatoo. All right. Anyway, so they need the cockatoo. Anyway, by the way, this morning, they had two people they were interviewing. One of them was like some kind of intelligence woman, and her name was Rebecca Weiner. This was right after they showed Thomas Dickey. So they showed Thomas Dickey, and then they showed Rebecca Weiner right after. Okay, and she's some kind of commissioner of intelligence or something. And you remember that Anthony Weiner, and he sent pictures of his wiener. Remember? See what I mean? How they mock us? You really think a congressman is going to be sending pictures of himself? Do you really believe that? That a congressman is going to send dick pictures of him? Yeah, I mean, do you understand how crazy? And his name is Weiner. Come on. Anyway, so right after they showed his lawyer, Thomas Dickey, then they showed a woman named Rebecca Weiner, right? And then right after they showed Rebecca Weiner, they showed some hotel guy when the killer was trying to check into a hotel. His name was John Cuckless. Cuckless, like almost like cockless. I mean, these people are nuts, and they're comparing him to the Unabomber, and he's got like if he didn't pluck his eyebrows, he'd have a unibrower. The Unabomber, the unibrower. I mean, I don't know what these guys, what they're doing with that, but it's just interesting that they picked a dude with a unibrow. I probably would have a unibrow too. You know, probably. It it stopped growing after I probably pulled it out when I was younger. You know. Anyway, um, but the point I'm trying to make is it's all these codes, okay, in their stories. All right. So it's up to you whether you believe it or not. I'm not. You know what I think of the story. But so like I said, it's fully coded, right? And of course, you know that I explained to you that story with the why Trump after he got shot. He got shot at six. The time was 6:11, which is I've been telling you guys all about this for years. That the Washington State is going to be struck on June 11th, and they're going to crack it, folks. And it's all about Elvis. Uh, it's the beast out of the sea revelation. It's the biblical beast out of the sea revelation. Elvis is the beast out of the sea. All right. Somehow his image, his name, or the number of his name is going to, or all three, is going to be a part of the mark of the beast. And because Trump looks like Elvis, because they're like the Janus God, the two-faced God. Because I told you Elvis had an identical twin that died at birth. That's why the Twin Towers went down. Okay, and of course you had the 47th floor, which was the third building. See, it's always there's that connection to that 47, right? And that's why Elvis has been dead for 47 years. Trump's going to be the 47th president, exact same time, you know. And so, um, Elvis had an identical twin that died at birth. Okay, that's what I'm trying to explain to you, and that's why Trump is the replacement twin for Elvis's identical twin that was either sacrificed or died, or whether he existed or not, who knows, But that's what they say. He had an identical twin. Anyway, you got to watch my live streams to understand it all. But uh, what else? I can't remember now. My brain just went blank. I got too much on my mind, folks. Uh, Oh, I was saying that it's biblical because Elvis is the beast out of the sea, this Washington State June 11th event, and one of the heads of the beast had gets a head wound and it's been healed, and that's the Trump head wound that's going to happen on August 4th, most likely in Ohio. Okay, so you have the 6/11 event, and then the August 4th Trump head wound. So you have those two events, and the time that Trump got his head wound, the date was 7/13, but the time was exactly 6/11. And 6/11 is when I'm telling you the Washington State gets struck, right? And then he went back to that same place, Butler, Pennsylvania. He went back there 84 days later after he got his head wound. I mean, he got his ear clipped. So you have the 6/11 connection for the time, and then 84 days later he comes back to that place where he got his ear clipped. So you have the 6/11 84, and what did they do at that exact moment? What did they do? They did this. Look, when Trump went back there, what did he do? Look, listen to this.
This time it is 6/11, 12 weeks to the minute that the shooting began. I would like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence.
So they did four bells. Listen to what he says right here.
This time it is 6/11, 12 weeks to the minute.
12 weeks to the minute. That 12 weeks is 84 days. 12 weeks, is that what he said? Yeah, whatever. 84. Yeah, 7 times 12 is 84. So it was, what the heck did he say? Hold on, my brain's not working.
Here. Shooting began. I would like to ask everyone to join me in a moment of this time. It is 6/11, 12 weeks to the minute that the shooting began.
12 weeks, yeah, which is 84 days, okay? And so you have the 8/4 and the 6/11 right there in what he's saying. I mean, think about that, man. Both my predictions right there in what he's saying. And he had a moment of silence. They're telling you the bell is ringing. They're sounding the alarm, man. Okay? For what's coming. Anyway, all right, folks. But I could go on all day with these codes. Like I said, I had 41 channels terminated by YouTube because of discovering these codes. 41 channels terminated. This is my 42nd channel. And Elvis died at 42. Washington's the 42nd state. It's all connected, man. All right? All right, folks. Any last words? any last words? So anyone who got in late, just watch from the beginning, because I'm going to delete the other video where there was a longer version of this. Oh, lastly, if you want my testimony video, which will explain how I came to all this knowledge, go to the live stream section of this channel, go back a year, and then start scrolling slower, and you'll find a video that says Jurassic testimony. In the beginning was the King Man's Son. Jurassic testimony. In the beginning was the King Man's Son. Okay? It's 2 hours, 8 minutes long. From over a year ago under the live stream section. And if you're new to the channel also, watch all my live streams. Just work your way back. Okay? Anyway. Like I said, I don't have really those news stories on this channel because I told you that's what got my channels terminated. So that's why I couldn't do them anymore, Anyway, God bless all of you. Jesus is God. End of video.